only local news station with nonstop news.
It is what we do. Good morning. Nonstop news starts right now. We are the only station in town commercial free for the next 15 minutes.
We have you covered this morning, including a look at traffic with Joy and a look at your weather with Jeannette. But first, Priscilla Coronado, congratulations.
Yay.
She won 4 tickets to NIOSA. Woo!
Yes, congratulations. NIOSA kicks off next Tuesday. Rain chances for next Tuesday, 30%. However, it may be a little stormy for next Wednesday. Right now, this is what it looks like in terms of fog. We are seeing some lower visibilities, but most of this is outside of our viewing area. You can see the fog a little more widespread between Austin, Eagle Lake, and points farther north. Closer to our area, we just have to watch for patches of fog. It's definitely cloudy out there, and that's because we have a soupy air mass. As we go through the rest of the day, we should see some breaks of sun. There is the chance for some brief pop-up showers. There could be a stray thunderstorm embedded as well. It gets breezy later in the day, winds increasing from the southeast. Forecast high up to 86. The western zone partly sunny. I think it's going to be dry there, but a 30% rain chance in the hill country and the eastern zone. Certainly drier for everyone this weekend, so that's good news for those fiesta events. Talking higher rain chances though next week. We'll take a look at the weather maker that could produce some severe storms across our area by the middle part of next week. Your full forecast coming up in under 10 minutes.
We spent all morning on this, and we will continue to put most of our focus here along I-35 on the northeast side. That's where we have seen close to an hour delay headed southbound on I-35. Well, at least 30 minutes at the minimum, but we know that our good friend David Mendoza in RoadCam has been sitting behind that for close to 30 minutes already. This is all because of some construction closures between Topperwine and Judson. David, how far have you made it in the time that you've been there?
Hey, good morning, Joyce. So yeah, I'm sitting around 45 minutes now. I started the top of the hour at Schertz Parkway. I'm now approaching Topperwine. It's been a solid 45 minutes of stop and go. I've had some brief pockets of movement, but other than that, it's been very congested. So I will keep you updated. Hopefully I'm almost out of it, and I'll let you know. Back to you.
All right, David, we will continue to check in. The rest of San Antonio looking very nice this morning. That's the latest with your on-time traffic.
All right, guys, thanks. New details right now. We are learning more about a shooting we first told you about yesterday. The victim is dead and there are no suspects. It happened Wednesday before 6 p.m. on Ames Avenue and Nagalito Street. Investigators say the victim, now ID'd as Andre Monpera, was picking up his girlfriend. Monpera and the suspect got into an argument that led to a shooting. Again, the victim, Monpera, died at the hospital. The suspect is on the run this morning.
Police are also looking for the person who shot and killed a man on the south side. The ME's office confirming a 44-year-old man is the victim. Police say he was dropped off at an emergency room off South Zarzamora and I-35 with a gunshot wound to the head. No word on where the shooting happened or who the suspect is.
The driver involved in a deadly crash on the far west side will face charges. So that wreck happened Wednesday on Alamo Ranch Parkway and Lone Star Parkway. Witnesses telling police they saw the 20-year-old suspect driving recklessly. 71-year-old Patricia Browning was killed in that wreck. The suspect is still in the hospital. Officials say he will be charged with manslaughter.
Rapper Tamor McIntyre, also known as Tay-K, is appealing his murder sentence. Last week, a jury sentenced McIntyre to 80 years in prison for the 2017 murder of Mark Anthony Saldivar. A judge ordered he will serve his sentence at the same time as a prior conviction in Tarrant County. He was sentenced to 55 years in that case. Attorneys for McIntyre released a statement saying he plans to appeal his murder sentence.
An 18-year-old on Texas's top 10 most wanted list had his capital murder charge dropped. That's Joseph Harris, arrested last month, wanted for capital murder for an incident that happened in Selma. Now, his case was dismissed last month for further investigation. He is in jail this morning on charges of unauthorized use of a vehicle. He has a court date scheduled for May 8th.
A $1 billion school voucher plan is heading to Governor Greg Abbott's desk for a signature. The bill will provide funding for families in Texas to send their students to private schools. Families could get up to $10,000 a year per student. A student with disabilities could get as much as $30,000 a year. People against the bill say the funding would take away money from public schools. People for it say it gives families access to better education.
About 15 minutes now before 7 a.m., parents can find out if their child's school or their district made the grade. The TEA has released the 2022-2023 accountability ratings. So keep in mind those A through F grades have not been released in years because of the pandemic, and there was some litigation going on. We did speak to some of the bigger districts in the area about those ratings. This is what we're finding out. SAISD says the ratings cannot be compared to the previous year because of the big changes that happened with STAR assessment and the state accountability system. NEISD says that some of the campuses may get lower letter grades because of the way the system is designed. Northside says as a result of the changes, some letter grades were negatively impacted despite student achievement. The Texas Senate passed a bill regarding big rig accident lawsuits. So Texas leads the nation in trucking deaths, and critics of this think it will only contribute to that stat. Senate Bill 39 would limit when juries can hear details about a truck driver in a crash lawsuit, details things like drug tests or past violations. But that information would only be allowed after a company is found liable to decide damages. Supporters of the bill believe it will ultimately lead to fair trials and shorter cases.
And so my last and fifth question would be an assessment of what you think happens once we make trucking companies no longer accountable for their negligence in hiring, training, or supervision of their drivers. Do you think our roads will be safer or less safe?
That question is not germane to what I'm doing in this bill, Senator.
That bill now heads to the Texas House for consideration.
Yesterday marked 1 year since a pro-Palestine protest at UT Austin that ended with dozens of arrests. Students marked the anniversary with another demonstration. One group was planning protests, but it was canceled by the university due to that group's suspension. A spokesperson from Austin's chapter of Students for a Democratic Society says students have been hesitant to protest after last year's events.
We're going to be out there to make sure that we have free speech, to make sure that we do advocate, that we do stand in solidarity.
The society's planning other gatherings, looking to rebel against the UT administration in the name of free speech.
All right, 6:48 on this Friday morning. Time for a look at the morning headlines. A federal judge has halted parts of President Trump's executive order to require proof of citizenship for voting. So the judge says the president cannot add that check to federal voter registration forms. Instead, the judge says this has got to come from Congress and the states. The other part of the judge that he put on hold requires federal agencies to check citizenship before handing out voter forms.
Some Wall Street execs are getting inside information regarding trade talks. That's according to Fox Business columnist Charles Gasparino. He wrote on X that White House officials are alerting business leaders about a possible agreement with India. Some analysts are raising red flags, questioning whether Wall Street insiders should be getting status updates.
Peace talks between the U.S. and Russia have just gotten a little more complicated. This comes after Russia's attack on Ukraine that killed 9 people. President Trump called on President Vladimir Putin to stop. This did so on social media. Officials say the White House is ready to walk away from negotiations if progress is not made soon.
Viva Krampus! Krampus meets Fiesta. The organizers of the controversial December parade held a Fiesta masquerade pachanga last night with a bold theme, piñata protests. Parade council members say they love seeing people from all over the city come together and support the event.
It's really exciting. I really didn't know that it was going to be this big. We are seeing people from the community. We're seeing people from across town, from different cities. So it's really nice to see people show up for Krampus.
The money raised will pay for this year's Krampus parade.
Got to be honest, don't know anything about that, never been to that. I have been to Oyster Bake, though, many, many times. It is a San Antonio staple. It kicks off later today with thousands of people that are expected to make their way over to St. Mary's campus.
It's definitely a favorite.
Yes.
News 4 San Antonio's Tawny Davis is live and to tell us what we can expect at this year's celebration. Hi, Tawny.
Well, good morning. As an alum from St. Mary's University, it was always exciting to be a part of this, not only because we got the day off of school, but we got to participate in all of the celebrations, and now everyone else can too. This year, people can expect to have a lot of great food and entertainment. The event will have over 100,000 oysters and everyone's favorite 35,000 chicken on a stick. For the music, artists like Hoobastank, Sugar Ray, and Josh Abbott Band, so there will be something for everyone to enjoy. While this may be a time for everyone to celebrate, Oyster Bay continues to make sure St. Mary's students are helped. All the money that is raised at the event goes towards scholarships, with each year earning around $500,000. The chair of the Fiesta Oyster Bake says it's always a great opportunity to bring people together.
It really is great when you're out here and you're having a good time and you see current students out here enjoying the oysters, enjoying the food, the ambiance, the music. It's just fun to see the different generations come together and enjoy a great time out here.
Safety is also top of mind this year to make sure that this is a safe, family-friendly event. Officers from SAPD and St. Mary's Police, as well as Bexar County deputies, will be on campus to provide security throughout the event. Now, I was able to snag a St. Mary's Fiesta medal, so this will become a part of my collection. You are still able to get tickets, whether they be online at HEB stores, or you can come to the front entrance and buy your tickets there. Just make sure you plan ahead beforehand. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
All right, Tawny, thank you. Fiesta de los Reyes starts today at 10 a.m. So, man, we got a couple of biggies kicking off. This is all happening down at Historic Market Square. It's good if you've never been. Live music, food, fun, drinks, all kinds of fun stuff. It is one of, if not the largest, free Fiesta event.
And the Chaparral Music and Heritage Festival starts tomorrow. It's a day full of live music and food celebrating Texas heritage. It's happening from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Civic Park.
Music makes me happy. Taste of the North Side is one of the premier event, really, when it comes to Fiesta. You've got 50 outstanding restaurants that are a part of this. The event supports children with disabilities and developmental delays. It is next week. It's next Thursday. It goes from 6 till 10:30. This year, it's out at the Rock at La Cantera. There's a full list of all the events going on. There's over 100 events. We've set up a list on our website at news4sa.com. And speaking of Taste of the North Side, let's do it. Let's do it right now. The winner is going to get 2 tickets. So caller number 4, call that number, 726-232-2698. 2 tickets, 1 caller, caller number 4. Good luck.
Now your certified most accurate 4-zone weather with meteorologist Jeannette Calle.
You like that one, right?
Yes, and I will be at that one. Hey, there's also a Taste of New Orleans, which runs from today through Sunday, and there's Alamo Heights night, which is tonight. I mean, there's just so many.
Over in Incarnate Word, yeah, there's
a lot of stuff.
No excuses to stay indoors today or tonight, although there's a chance of rain. But keep in mind that most of the day, most of the area will be dry. There's this humid air mass that's over the region. That's going to stay put through the weekend. So yes, it's going to be pretty steamy out there. But it's that humidity plus the daytime heating that helps to trigger just a few pop-up showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Rain chances look to increase next week as the next weather maker works its way across the area. Here's where the rain is right now. Most of it outside of Texas, pretty wet there across the high plains and the Midwest. Here's the current setup. Ridge of high pressure will be moving northward, and this is what's going to bring us the dry conditions for this weekend into Monday. That'll also help to keep that next storm north of Texas. However, as high pressure moves away, we'll see this area of low pressure getting closer to Texas, and that's the weather maker that will enhance our rain chances and could also help to trigger some severe weather across our area by the middle part of next week. Taking you through this Friday, mostly cloudy to cloudy this morning. There could be a stray shower, better chance in the eastern zone, maybe a couple showers or a thunderstorm this afternoon into the early evening. Have that 4-zone weather app handy, so if there's a thunderstorm or rain headed your way, you'll get a notification right on your phone. Tomorrow Tomorrow morning, we start off with clouds, maybe some mist, and then in the afternoon, we will see some sun. Sunday, morning clouds, then some afternoon sunshine. No severe weather for today. Most of the severe weather over the next few days will be west of Del Rio and up across the Panhandle. Slight risk today from Lubbock to Amarillo. End of April, beginning of May, looking at a pretty active pattern. Climate Prediction Center rainfall outlook showing above normal precipitation for the state. This is how much rain we could see across the area over the next 7 days, about 1/4 inch to an inch plus from San Antonio to the Hill Country. Higher amounts the farther north you go, lesser amounts farther to the south. So a 30% rain chance this afternoon, again a brief shower or two, and then tomorrow just a 10% rain chance. Sunday, Monday, partly sunny near 90. Tuesday a 30% rain chance, that's when we kick off NIOSA. 50% rain chance though Tuesday night into next Wednesday, that's when we could see some strong to severe storms, and then by next Thursday those rain chances start to drop off. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones. Pretty dry in the western zone up until late next week. Hill Country pretty uneventful there this weekend. Rain chances, though, increasing next Wednesday. And with the higher rain chances next Wednesday, temperatures will be cooling down. That's your forecast. Enjoy Fiesta.
Back to the northeast side, I-35 southbound has been our focus all morning. Still looking at about a 40 to 45 minute delay behind these construction closures along I-35 southbound between Topperwine and Judson. Now that said, as we take a live look here from Road Cam with David Mendoza, looks like things have improved for him. So I want to check in and see, David, were you able to make it on the other side of those construction closures? Where are you?
Hey, 35 South and 410, yeah, everything's opened up now. We're moving. It took about an hour from Church Parkway to get to this point. So, hey, it's Friday, it's Fiesta time. Come on now, let's get it on. Back to you.
Well, at least David Mendoza got to end on a positive note there. He made it through. Hopefully you will as well, but that delay still lingering for the rest of us. Here it is one last time. The rest of San Antonio looking wonderful for us on this Friday morning.